They're new sharpening stones on the bench today. These are from PDTools, and they are their premium silver CBN stones, and they're specifically made for harder steels, including like M390, things like that. They're a metal ceramic bond, and they remove the metal well, but preserve the geometry. And I'm really pretty impressed with these stones. These stones are made in the Ukraine, and you can see they're just super dense. All those black dots there that you see on the screen, those are the CBN particles. And you can see there quite a few. That was the coarsest stone. This is the 285, and you can see they are a bit smaller, as you'd expect. This is what the 550 looks like up close. So these are really starting to get small. And then this is the 1000 grit. And last but not least, this is a resin stone, and this is the 5000 kind of for your finished polish if you want to. It's a lot harder to see the CBN particles in this size. And just to compare them here, here's my Hapstone Premium CBNs. I just grabbed the 400 here. These are a metal bond. You can just see the difference in the look of them. These are a lot smoother, very similar sharpening grit amount there. Very similar in size. So these PDTools stones are silver bond. It's a hybrid of a resin and a metal bond. And what that'll do, it leaves a cleaner pattern than a full metal bond on your stone. Low loading, solid feedback, and really built for high carbide steels. These are great for a lot of EDC knives, in my opinion. Everything from 440, which will sharpen easily, to your S90Vs, your M390s, your Rex 121, stuff like that. These will sharpen. So today we've got MagnaCut. This is on a Kershaw live wire, about 62, 63 hardness, I believe. And I like my EDC finishes to be toothy, so I'm probably going to stop at, I think, 550 today. I'm going to start with the 285 grit stone and just match the edge. This isn't banged up or anything too bad, so it should be easy enough to match, and there really isn't any significant damage to take out, so this will do it quickly. PDTools does recommend a oil with these stones. I don't have any oil at the moment. I've got some ordered and on the way, so I'm just going to use a soapy water concoction here. It's got quite a bit of soap in it, so it should provide plenty of lubricity here. And this is the first time sharpening like this, so let me know if you guys like this angle, and we'll kind of go from there. So you can hear the bite here. I'm not putting hardly any pressure on. And they just bite nicely there on the stone. I've also never sharpened and talked at the same time. So we'll see how that goes too. I got this all set up earlier on my TS Prof Cadet, using my Print Sharp Co. center clamp adapter here, so it mounts a little bit closer and cleaner. Critical for EDC knives, in my opinion. And a good tip here is that I'm holding my finger underneath the edge as I'm sharpening so I don't roll off the edge. And this really isn't going to take much here. All right, let's park it and take a look. Let's put that aside. Wipe it off so it's clean. Feel for the burr. And I could maybe go a little bit longer. It's pretty good down here at the heel, but feels like in the middle and at the end I could go a little bit further. Well, let's take a look at the microscope, what it's showing here. So a nice consistent scratch pattern you can see there on the screen. And then as we scroll down the edge, see, pretty consistent, pretty even. Right there we can see it's a little bit different shine, so I'm going to take a little bit more off there. You can see very little loading here. No issues with that. Again, I'm not pushing much on this edge. You just don't need to. And these cut nice. The feedback is nice. It's a nice sound, I think, too. It's a very pleasant experience. MagnaCut isn't a super tough steel to sharpen, but it's still a modern powdered steel that does sharpen better with CBN or diamonds in my experience. Looks really good on the microscope. as well. Feel along the edge there, I've got burrs all along the edge there, so that's good. Let me know as I've apexed it. We'll flip it over, give it a squirt, and sharpen the other side. If you guys don't tape up your edges, I highly recommend it. It makes it so you won't scratch your knife. I've got these clamps dipped in Plasti Dip, so they also won't scratch, and I find it provides an extra level of grip, which I like. And I think the soapy water here is working well. Alright, so I've gotten this second side all sharpened up here. Out towards the tip here, there's just a little bit of the existing bevel left. You can see there just a tiny little bit. But I'm going to leave that. I don't need to take off excessive metal here. This is a user knife after all. So we're going to flip it over. Definitely feel the burr. We're going to trade this stone out. I'm just going to give it a quick wipe before I put it away. Get any excess metal built up off of it. Put it away. We'll grab the 550 here. And this one did get a little bit of a crack in shipping here, but it doesn't affect the sharpening performance. And PDTools has offered to replace it if I want them to. So it's good. We'll check the thickness here. It's just ever so slightly more, so we'll get that in place and start sharpening. Knock that burr off on that first pass, and this is really refining that for that working edge. I like my edges to have some bite and tooth to them, and I find if I go above about 550, 600 grit, something like that, you start to lose that. I'm not big on near polished edges. When I first got into sharpening, I was, and put it on everything, and I just wasn't that satisfied. As I got better as a sharpener, read more about it, the general community consensus was, hey, try a lower sharpening grit. So I did, and it's what I prefer for an edge I'm actually using. And I like the look of a satin edge too. It's really fine. We'll see what that looks like up here in a second. And this really doesn't take much. We're just trying to take off those scratches from the other stone. We've done the bulk of the apexing work here. And it's really just about refining. And since this is going to be my end stone, I'm going to do full passes just to make sure it looks nice. Because sometimes you can see where you pick up the stone and come down again. So I want that to all be nice and uniform. So you can see there, nicely refined scratch pattern. Give it a flip, and let's sharpen the other side. So I've got the sharpening done on the second side here. Take a look at it. Looks pretty good. So that's where I'm going to end it with these stones. I will wipe it off, and then we'll move on to stropping. Today I'm just going to use 0.5 gunny juice on some balsa wood because it's handy here. We're just going to give it a quick strop. Not going to do much. Do a few more passes on the original side there. There's probably a little bit of a burr. And actually what I think I will do is I will take this 5,000 grit stone, since there is a little bit of a burr from sharpening, and equalize the height there and just give it 2 passes. And I'll put a little water on it. That's a good method to take care of your burr, is just to step up in your grits significantly to your highest grit stone and just do a couple of light passes. So from here we will do the gunny juice. Let's take a look in plastic here. I open a lot of 3D printing filament bags, so that's kind of a test for me. It's a heavier plastic, so yeah. Slice is nice. I'm happy with that edge. It's a very nice working edge. It's not the world's fastest edge, but this took me 15 minutes to sharpen up here. And I'm happy with it. Put a little oil in the knife. It looks like it got a little water in there during the sharpening process. My overall thoughts on these PDTools stones are, they're great. The feedback is a noticeable step up from my Hapstone premiums. They seem like they have denser amounts of CBN in them, so they cut faster than the Hapstones, I'd say. This premium silver 550 grit is really, I think, going to be my favorite. I don't have a 550 grit or 500 grit. I jumped from 400 to 800 in my Hapstones, and that 800 is just a little more refined than I want to be. I want a little bit more tooth, and the 400's a little more tooth than I want, so that 550 is a nice range there. And realize not all the grits are exactly the same. In the Hapstone, for instance, they're 2014, and in the 1000, that 2014, or in the 2014 here in the PDTools is 1000. There's 1100, sorry. So grits aren't always the same. That's important to keep in mind when sharpening. So let me know what you think of these PDTool stones. If you're interested in them, I think I'll have a link in the description below. I may even have a coupon code if I get in touch with PDTools on this one. And look forward to more sharpening content coming from me soon. I'm looking to probably do a couple other steels, maybe a couple of other things. If you have any ideas or things you want to see sharpened, let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching.